Good afternoon, everybody. So I'm going to start letting everybody in the room. What's up, Melissa? Having some technical difficulties, so we are now going to be live. So bear with as I let everybody into the room, you guys. Everybody's rolling in. Here we go. All right, lots of people jumping on. Hey, Shelly, all the way from Virginia. What time is it over there? I thought the sun was going down over there by now. Let's see.
I didn't realize my mute was on. It's 4 minutes after 4.
4 minutes after 4. All right. So we have about 18, 20 people on the call, some more jumping in. Amber, can I make you a co-host? Can you please accept people as they come in, please?
Sure.
Awesome. So what's going on, guys? It is 4:21, 1:04 in the afternoon. We're going to kick things off. So this is also being recorded. I have a great session today to show you guys about a little bit about what's happening right now, but also what to expect to happen in the next few months. So, and there's still people jumping on. So Amber, are you able to accept them on?
I'm not seeing them. No.
Okay. All right. I'll keep doing it then.
I'm sorry.
In the meantime, so just to get things started, there's this funny video that's been circulating around, and I think it's hilarious. It kind of just wraps up what we're experiencing in today's market, and I had to share it. Some of you guys may have already seen it, but I'm going to share my screen here for a second. So, Amber, can you see my screen okay?
Yes.
Awesome. So I'm going to let this play real quick while people are still jumping in on the call. So this is just for fun. So this guy's on TikTok, and it's a real estate video. So let's see. Hopefully you guys can hear it okay. Here we go.
Excuse me. Is that apple for sale? Yeah, we're about to put it on sale right now, actually. Well, I'm in
And real quick, are you able to hear his voice?
Yes, we are.
Okay. All right, cool.
the market, so tell me about your apple. Why should I buy it? Nice try. Okay, people, here's how this is going to work. I have an apple here. The highest bidder's going home with this. I want all bids in the next 2 minutes, then we're closing it. Bidding starts at $5. Feeling pretty confident there, huh? I mean, don't you think? $10. He said starting at 5. 15. Is this a new apple? Yeah, just listed. I'm pre-qualified. I'll pay cash. I got cash. 20, 30, 40. No, just make it 45. Is it even worth that? 50. I don't know. Please, this is the 8th apple I've tried to buy. Could I at least see it up close? Nope, it's an apple. You know what it is. You either want it or you don't. I'll take it for 100. What? I'm from California. It's the cheapest apple I've ever seen. 120. Why did I do that? Why?
What?
No, I don't. Excuse me.
Oh my God. So that's a perfect, I mean, I hope you guys were able to hear that and see that. So that's exactly what we're dealing with right now in this market. It is insane. And were you guys able to hear that okay? Those of you that were on the call? So that video is hilarious. It's on TikTok. It's been circling through Facebook as well. So if you didn't get a chance to check it out, it's on there for you guys. All right, so we're up to about almost 30 people. So welcome everybody to today's call. A couple things I wanted to start off with. Caleb's putting on there. Yeah, it's hilarious. I mean, that was a good video. So a couple things I want to start off with today's call is first and foremost, COVID. So there's, a lot of rumors circulating around about what's happening with the current necessity for forms, such as PEDS. Are open houses still allowed or not allowed? So the answer is, as of right now, all the COVID rules and regulations still apply, okay? Rumor is June 15th is when governor is supposed to come out and hopefully change the status of the tier level to where we can now have everything back open. no masks, open houses allowed again, all back to normal. So that's going to be the big date as of right now. But currently, you are still required to submit everything with your PED forms for accessing homes and abide by all rules and regulations of COVID. Okay, so hopefully that clarifies on that. The next thing is, Amber, I wanted you to chime in because KV Core is now live. As of today is our official launch date. So it is live. Everybody in the company is going to have access to it as of right now. Amber, do you want to talk a little bit about that and the first training session?
Yes, first of all, I'd like to welcome everybody. Exciting news today. We are live with KV Core. I just got an email from KV Core indicating that we are live and all the agent websites are being implemented as we speak. So for tomorrow, we definitely want as many people on the call to get engaged on the KV Core the platform call that we have at 9 a.m. So you should have received a couple of emails from me already. I will send something out again tomorrow. I'm going to try to use the text all feature that we have available through the KV Core platform, and we'll send that out to all of you guys. So there are going to be 4 classes. The first class obviously is tomorrow at 9. That is going to be kind of like an orientation and overview of everything that KV Core has to offer us and you as an agent. So be excited, come with your pen and paper, have all the questions that you need. Again, the platform is going to be amazing. The profiles and websites are now all set up, live, ready to go. So once completed with tomorrow's class, you will have the option whether you want to decide to continue with the additional 4 classes that are being offered for each and every one of us, or you cannot be a part of it. But I recommend you definitely jump on every single one of the training so you understand everything that KV Core has to offer you as an agent, because you are going to be charged the $75 if you plan to proceed with the KV Core platform. So join us tomorrow, 9 a.m. And then there's 4 additional classes. The first week is going to be on the KV Core Platinum Basics. Week 2 is going to empower your current business. Week 3 is going to drive your business. And then week 4 is committing to the program. So you don't want to miss out on any of those 4 classes, but most importantly, tomorrow, 9 o'clock, be on the call.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Amber. So I'm going to go ahead and start and jump right into it. The next thing I want to talk about is the registered listing status. So I wanted to clear up the confusion because I've been noticing a lot of us are missing a simple step when it comes to registering a listing. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and please chime in if you have questions. If you're not sure, go ahead and ask, let me know. But I want to start off with my own question. And the question is, why do we need a registered status for a listing? Can somebody tell me what they've been using it for strategically while I share my screen? And I don't want to pick on anybody.
If you don't,
We're about to
if
put
you
it
don't
on
know
sale
your
right
go
now.
live date.
Say that question one more time.
Yeah, sorry about that. So my screen the volume was popping in and out. And Chris, I know you were saying something. The question is, what is the use of the registered status, or why should we be using it, or how can we be using it strategically? Chris, go ahead.
If you don't know your go live date, but they're ready to sign the contract, and maybe they have some housework to do, they want to fix some things up, and it goes past the coming soon date, the 3 weeks, then it's good to go registered, and then you can go live whenever the house is ready.
Protect your days on market.
Protect your days on market.
Well, protect your days on market as well. Yeah, so that's a good point. So if I'm not 100% sure when I'm going to go live on the contract or on the MLS, remember that you have how much time to put a listing into the MLS? We have 2 days, correct? 48 hours. Okay. So if we have 2 days, what I'm suggesting is get in the habit, because it does not cost you days on market or anything. Get in the habit of getting a listing signed, and that same day, register the listing. It's going to save you from heartache in the future. All you have to do is put it in under as registered so that you have basic listing information in the MLS. So now you can then take your time and decide if you're going to do a coming soon or if you're going to go live directly. Okay, so that's the whole purpose of registered. So what I want to show you guys is I think some of you might be missing a step. You're thinking you're doing registered, but we're really not doing a registered listing. So can you guys see my screen okay? We're good? Okay. So on the MLS, we're going to go ahead and log in and we're going to pretend like we're going to, well, skip all the advertisement. You're going to go into the add edit button like if you're adding a listing, but here's where we're missing a step. When we go to add new, let me see if I can enlarge the screen here. This is the part that we are missing. We're still going into residential when we should be going into register listing contract. That's the missing step. I know I just this last week, I've had to show this to about 3 agents because we're wanting to go registered, but we go into add edit new listing and you're clicking on residential. You need to go into register listing contract. Okay. So hopefully that helps you guys and it clears up any confusion that anybody might have in regard to registered status on the MLS. Any questions on that, you guys? I'm going to go ahead and next out of that. We're good to go. Pretty simple, right? Pretty straightforward.
Are you doing that for properties that aren't going in the MLS at all? Also?
No. So if the property's not going in the MLS at all, that's a good question. I think that's Dominique. What's up, Dominique? So if the let me stop sharing my screen here for a sec. Hey, there we go. So if the property's not going in the MLS at all, you still have to get an exclusion form would be the best practice to have. Okay. The exclusion form is still available and you can still get it from the MLS. It's the SELM is the car form. You can still use that to exclude it from the MLS in its entirety.
So it does not need to be registered at that point?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. But again, to avoid any confusion with, do I put it registered? Do I do coming soon? Just take a listing, you sign a listing this, today, put it in as registered. It's like 4 or 5 fields that you have to fill out. And that's going to make sure that you're in compliance so that you can figure out your timeframes of coming soon or if you're going live. So in regards to coming soon status, I feel that we need to talk about it just a little bit because I think that some of us are not fully understanding the reason the coming soon status is there. First of all, do we even need a coming soon realistically in this market? What do you think? I say no. What do we need a coming soon in this market to build up hype? There's plenty of hype out there already as it is for properties because there's such a low inventory. But I think what we're doing is we're either taking advantage or not fully understanding the purpose of coming soon. So the coming soon status is literally just a status that's available for you to take a listing and put on there a time frame of when you are going to go live on the market. Now, what I see happening right now, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I see every single listing go coming soon and going into escrow before it goes live. How is that doing a service to our clients? Don't worry, I'll wait. No, I'm just kidding. I'm seeing every listing go coming soon and it's going into escrow before it goes live. So what's the purpose then of doing a coming soon? You as realtors, I suggest we have to hold our ground. And if the plan with the seller is to have a listing go live on Friday, wait until Friday. Go live. Don't take that first or second offer that comes in. And just because you're going to get blown up and people are submitting offers, we're literally going into escrow and we're not even going live. So that's a problem, right? We're not doing a good service to our client. And I suggest if you're going to look at doing that to begin with, don't even bother doing a coming soon. Does that make sense, you guys? I mean, I see some blank stares. So any other, I mean, is everybody, what have you guys been doing? When you do coming soon, I know you're getting all the offers. What have you seen out there?
Well, it's unethical to be accepting an offer when you're in the coming soon status. We're not supposed to do that.
So, and that's a good question to throw out there, Lori. Thank you for chiming in. So you are able to take offers in a coming soon status. And that's why I'm saying it's causing more confusion than anything, because you are actually legally capable and able to accept an offer when it's in coming soon. But strategically, are we doing the best service for our client by just doing that? Why even bother doing it coming soon if you know you're going to take an offer before it goes live? Just pick a live date. If you're going to do a coming soon, hold your ground, you guys. You're going to get better value for your client by saying, Lori, I totally respect that you're blowing me up and I appreciate the call, but hang tight. We're going to go live on Friday. If you want to submit it, go right ahead, but we're not going to review it until Friday. Don't allow the other party to dictate what you're doing for your clients. Okay.
But
I think,
Felipe, could I ask a question real
sure.
quick? So when I was in coming soon status, and I mean, agents in-house knew that I would not be showing the home prior to going active. And I made that clear, the first showing is on XYZ date. So how are these people accepting an offer that are in coming soon status when they haven't even technically showed the home yet?
Correct. And that's a great question. And I just realized my camera's off. I apologize. Or maybe you guys wanted my camera off. I'm not sure. So that's a great question. That's a great point. And I hope everybody's listening to this because this is exactly what's happening. Coming soon status. It is okay to accept an offer or to receive an offer in coming soon. It is not okay to show a property that's in coming soon status. Let's just make that clear.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to show a property. So Lori's actually correct. She's saying, look, I had a listing. I get a ton of phone calls and people are submitting offers blind.
Yeah.
Anne-Marie first.
So what if somebody writes an offer that you are happy with, you accept it, and you're in the coming soon status, are you then able to show the property? If you have an accepted offer?
No showings in coming soon status at all.
So you have to switch it to active and then show it.
Yes. So your friend, no, I'm just kidding. I always like to say, I have a friend that has a listing in coming soon. So if you have a house in coming soon, but this is why I started my, this conversation with, why are we going coming soon if we're going to accept offers in coming soon? So if you get offers during the coming soon, don't you think you're going to get a ton more offers when you go live, right? So the agents like us that are standing by saying, well, I'm going to wait to see the house when it goes live. We're not even getting that chance because agents are starting to jump the gun and accept offers when they come in and coming soon. And how qualified is that buyer and how serious are they if they haven't even seen your house, right? So, but to answer your question, Emery, no showings until it's active. So if you do decide, and I should say, if your seller decides to accept the offer prior to going live, you have to go live before that client can see it.
Well,
Okay?
once you put it in pending, you can start investigations, can't you?
Once you go into active under contract pending, you can, the buyer has the opportunity to research and investigate the property. Yes, correct.
So view the property.
To view
Yes.
the property. Yeah.
Okay.
So
What about the listing contract then though? Because you have a
Say-
live date of
say
it's
that
5.
again, Chris. Say that
What
again.
about the listing contract? Because your listing agreement says a certain date. And then if you go active before then, do you have to go back and redo that or what?
No, because keep in mind that the contract states it's coming soon.
Oh,
It's going to go
right.
live on or before X date.
Right. Okay.
So you're able to change that and go sooner. But again, the big key thing here, going back to Emery's point, is start thinking about that beforehand. If we're going to be open to accepting offers before people see it and go live, then why are we doing coming soon, right? Think about that and make sure and hold your ground and recommend to your seller that, look, I know it's going to be crazy. It's going to be exciting. We're going to get a ton of offers, and when they start coming in, if we're going coming soon, hopefully it's because we're getting our photos ready. We're getting everything prepared. There's really no point in promoting a listing right now for the seller's purpose because you're going to get bombarded with offers. Okay.
Except for those sellers who want to limit how many people are in their house, you put it coming soon and is
Yes, you can put it coming
appraisal
soon.
price.
Yeah, so say that somebody is limiting the amount of people showing the property or coming through, because we do get those, right? You're right. So if that happens, you do coming soon, it's going to go live on such date, but the people can still not come through and take a look at the property until it's live. So coming soon status, absolutely no showings.
Well,
No
correct, but that's what I'm saying is you could have it under contract without even having to show it and then deal with only the one person. That would be a reason to be incoming soon. That's all I'm
Correct.
saying.
Yes, you can do that as well. Yes. So So I just wanted to clarify on the registered status. I think it's a good habit to have, especially for if you're new to listing properties and you're not sure of all the steps. The day that you sign the contract, make sure you get back to the office or home and put your listing in as registered. It will not count against you on days on market, and it's not going to go anywhere promotion wise. It's going to be on your MLS. So at least you have it in and you can't get a fine until you're prepared to go live or coming soon. So if you're going to do a coming soon, make sure that you remember the golden rules. You cannot show the property. So those offers that come in, they're literally coming in blindly. Jennifer, I saw your hand go up.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I'm actually liking coming soon when I'm representing the buyer, because a lot of times these homes are just being shown like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, submit all offers in on Monday. So if you see it coming soon, a handful of days or a week ahead of time, especially like I have a client right now from LA, we can plan ahead for, okay, this home's gonna be going active. You can set your appointment. You can kind of put your schedule in advance. I think when it just goes active on a Friday and you're not seeing it before, and then it's only shown for a few days, it makes it really hectic. And I have not run into any homes that are showing coming soon that all of a sudden they're disappearing and going pending before they're going active. So, and same thing, when I'm representing the seller, I like it coming soon for a few days, because if there's something else active in the neighborhood, it kind of prepares the buyer for like, oh, well, we want to see this home, but this one's coming in a few days. We might like this one better. So.
Yeah, and all good points. And I'm not saying I don't like the coming soon status. I do like the coming soon status. However, I think agents are getting confused of how to utilize it properly. And we are seeing a lot of properties that are coming soon that go immediately into active under contract or pending. It is happening. That's for sure. So what happens is, you're setting up your appointment to show on Friday because it's going to go live on, just as an example, it's going to go live on Friday and then it's gone. Or they don't even give you the opportunity to show come Friday, or they cancel the appointment on you. So it is starting to happen. Be very cautious of that. But it is a great opportunity. Notice what Jennifer said. When you represent the buyer, make sure that you can still reach out to those agents. Good luck. I mean, agents are being very kind of rude, in my opinion. They're not really responding right now. They're not communicating. And I hope it's none of our agents, because again, that's one of our big pet peeves is you have to be good communicators. But when agents are calling to try to get status about showing on a coming soon, I think it's good practice to have, because you don't want to miss out on an opportunity for your buyer. And for sure, the last thing you want to do is don't be the last person to show the house. Don't try to set up an appointment for 3 days after it goes live, you guys. That's not going to work. Okay. I'm not naming names. I'm just saying you have to be prepared to show the property with your clients right away if they're serious. Because if you wait till the last minute or you try to postpone and schedule something 2 days out, unfortunately, that's not how the market is reacting right now. We have to be quick. We have to be quick to show and quick to present. Okay. So that's just some advice, some rules, some things that I've been noticing. I hope that helps you guys, because I want to, I'm not on my camera again. Well, anyways, I'm going to share my screen. I wanted to go over some of these slides and kind of give everybody a good understanding of what's really going on in the market. So let me just move this little photo here. So this is a great snapshot, you guys, and I can send all these slides to you guys later. Most of these come from one of the websites, what's that called? Keeping Current Matters. So KCM does a great job with slides, but let me explain these to you guys, because this is super important to understand. This is a snapshot year over year in different metrics. And if you look at it, the very first metric is the showing time monthly report, meaning traffic. How much has traffic gone up of buyers looking at properties? So it's up almost 49%, 49.5%. Mortgage applications, bankers, the MBA, the Mortgage Bankers Association, the amount of purchase applications has gone way up, 40%, you guys, people making applications to get a mortgage. Okay, and we're going to talk about equity in a second. Number 3 is the first time we see a decline, and this metric has to do with pending sales. So why would we see mortgage applications go up, foot traffic go up in showings, but pending deals have gone down? That's because year over year, obviously we're in a super competitive, low inventory market, right? Existing home sales report has shown a slight increase, okay, 9.1%. New home sales, new home builders as well has gone up. But then you look at the inventory, 52% down year over year. And there's another slide that shares that information as well. It's insane, you guys. There's literally nothing out there for sale. You guys have heard me say this. Some of these slides and metrics, if you break them down, I think they really serve a good purpose to share with your clients or maybe on social media. It'll help you guys get the information out there. The interest rates, the mortgage rates, according to Freddie Mac, the 30-year fixed rate currently, this is as of, I believe, last month was at 3.189. The reason I showed is because we've seen such a sharp decline in rates. They went so far low. Just real quick for fun, who got the lowest interest rate out of everybody in the company so far with all the refis? I know you guys, let me stop sharing my screen for a second. So I'm still currently at 4%. I never refinanced. I know I say it all the time, but I didn't do it. Who ended up refinancing into like the most absurd interest rate ever? Who's got a
3.25.
interest rate? What do you got?
3.25.
That's nothing. Oh,
I just want to start it.
Paul just texted 2.25 30-year fixed. Does anybody beat that? That's insane. That's insane.
Mine's paid off.
Hey, we got one paid off. I know Ray Sully just paid off his house. Congratulations. Who else? That's my APR. 2.25, you guys. This is insane. So the rates, even though they started increasing, let's face it, it's still the lowest levels we've ever seen interest rates, right? So has anybody had a challenge talking to people about the fact that interest rates are low? Obviously not, right? That's not a problem. But they are starting to go up just a tad. And then there's a good little quote here from the senior economist at realtor.com. Home sellers, home buyers have gotten really used to extremely low rates, 3 to 3.5% range. It still remains extremely affordable by historical standards. But that's important to understand, you guys, because this is what the consumer consensus is that they know now. Remember, I always say people react after a couple months. They now see that they can get super low interest rates, but they're barely starting to catch up to the fact that the market is very competitive and there's no inventory. We have to say it over and over again. This is huge. This shows you an actual chart of all the US. So it's not a problem in California. It's a problem nationwide. Year over year change in housing inventory, and look at, little California IA, 41.3% down from last year as far as inventory. That's a huge decrease. Okay, so 41.3% down. House prices nationwide recorded the largest annual and quarterly increase in the history of FHFA. Okay, low mortgage rates, pent-up demand from home buyers, limited housing supply propelled every region in the country faster growth in 2020 compared to a year ago. So we are seeing a lot of success with home sales, but we're still in the same challenge of inventory. This slide is actually really cool because it shows, just to show of hands, has anybody cashed out or done a HELOC recently, right? Which I don't know why I said show of hands because I can't see everybody on my screen anymore. I'm sharing my screen. But more and more people have equity in their home than they ever had, okay? California and the US. Now, this is important for a couple reasons. Number one, it's good to know that the home appreciation or the values of homes are increasing at a drastic rate. We'll talk about that later on. But are people using them like their ATM again? Okay, so if I can go on my screen here. And Dominique, I know you were practicing back in, the bank-owned days, the REO days. So what was the main reason people got into short sales back then?
Oh, the seconds that they carried up and above.
Yeah, so like cashing out, using their equity, so to speak.
Yeah, they pull out equity for a second that they wouldn't be able to cover, and most of those could be up to 125%.
Yeah, and so they were pulling out equity more than what the home was worth in some cases. The big issue we had with the last refi crisis, so to speak, was the borrowers were not qualified for the amounts that they were borrowing. Okay, that's not happening today. So a quick example is, I remember seeing, like, for example, a landscape, a person that worked in landscaping, cash only business, buying a $550,000 house in Marietta, Temecula, back then. And so what the applications would do is the lenders or the loan officers back then who weren't licensed would literally fill out an application, say, oh, what do you do? Okay, we're going to say that you make $10,000 a month. No income, no assets, no nothing. I mean, it literally was that easy to qualify for a loan back in those days, and that's why we got into the big mess that we got into back in 2006 and 7. So the cash out refis right now are surging to the highest levels since the financial crisis. Why do you think this is important to know? Because guess what? Your consumer, your buyers, your sellers, people are starting to notice that people are taking equity out again. And they're going to ask you your opinion. Are we facing a housing bubble? Are we in another crisis? You probably already heard it. People asking you, are we going to go into another recession, or are we going to see the house prices crash? Are we going to see foreclosures? Right? It kind of makes me laugh when people say that. And, and I'm just talking on town and they'll say, like, oh, I think, I heard that we're going to see a ton of foreclosures. Well, I mean, explain why. I don't see that, because if you guys take a look here, this is a great chart. It shows the home equity that was cashed out by homeowners in billions of dollars. Even right now in 2020, even though we've gone up 153 billion people have taken out equity. I'm sorry, billions of dollars cashed out in equity. It's still not even half the amount that was leveraged back in 06. That's insane. That's crazy. So yes, the number of people using the equity that they built up in their homes has gone way up, and they're starting to cash out again. They're starting to use that for investments. They're starting to use that for, whatever they're using it for, but it's still not even half of what it was back in the crash in 2006. Now, another reason for this, you guys, is because if I go to take a loan out today, point blank, I might not qualify to borrow that much equity. Okay, so keep that in mind. And at the end of the day, 2020 is nothing like it was in 2006. If we look at the amount of equity that was tapped out and available back in 2006, being the blue column or the red column, there was $4.6 trillion of equity available to tap out, but 89% was cash out refis versus 33. So we have more equity today than we did back in 06 available, but only 33% of people are able to take that out. And again, it goes back to the criteria that you have to qualify for a loan, right? So there's a very stringent guidelines in regards to refinances compared to 2006. So we're not seeing anything like we saw back in 06. So here's a fun chart. So how many of you guys are working with buyers? Probably everybody. So an average number of offers received is the most it's ever been, right? So the average number of offers received right now on every property that's listed for sale, 4.1. That must be somewhere in, I don't know. It's definitely not California or Riverside, because, what my consensus is, every house here is getting at least 5 or more offers on every property. Lori Buskirk, you were on the call earlier. Are you still there? You said you had a listing. How many offers did you get? If you're on the call, you can just chime in.
9 offers.
9 offers. There you go. Yeah. So I think five plus is a good average for us right now. But we are at a state where right now, currently 4.1 offers is the average. And that's the highest it's ever been, you guys. So that's insane. It's a very competitive market. Is it like last time? I think it's safe to say that we've already expressed why I think it's not like last time, because of the fact that we still have to abide by those strict guidelines when it comes to lending and refinancing. Okay. So 4 offers or more on every house that's listed. Annual home price appreciation. here's something that I think, actually talking about live today, we're going to see a huge problem, right? Appreciation has gone up very, very steadily, and I can't see the bottom of my screen here. Oops, let me go back. Appreciation has definitely gone up, right? In the last, this is 2002 to 05. We had an annual appreciation of 10.3% versus the last couple of years here from 2017 to 2020. Home prices have gone up. However, I have a feeling that you guys can all, agree with me that based on the offers that we're receiving recently is going to cause a huge spike in the home values in our area, right? When people are offering 30, 40, 50, $100,000 over ask and they're closing escrow, we're going to see a huge spike in what's called appreciation and value, but it's kind of a fake valuation. Does that make sense? It's not real. It's fake. It's not a real valuation because people are just overbidding, like that funny video that I showed at the beginning of this meeting. They're just overbidding blindly. They don't know what they're doing, and they're offering $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 in some cases over ask, and they're closing, and that becomes a new comp, right? So when things regulate, when listings come back into the market, we're going to see that value go back to what it should be. Not what we thought it was, which was, average price point of $770,000 in Temecula. So we're going to see that regulate and go back down. Okay. So again, this is just a chart about lending. Currently, the borrower's risk level, okay, or the risk level of lending is definitely under the mitigated, just the risk level that it should be at. So if this was just a reasonable lending standard, a guideline, back in 07, there was a lot of loans that were over the debt to income ratios, for example. So the guidelines have maintained a steady course. And that's why I know that we're not in the same kind of situation we were last time. Any questions so far on that? So inventory of existing single family homes for sale. If you guys don't know what inventory is, I mean, right now in Temecula and Lake Elsinore, we're under 1 month of inventory still.
Hi, Carrie-Ann. How
Less
are you?
than 1 month of inventory. Okay, so that's
Oh, yeah.
something that.
How was your birthday?
Hey Shay, we can hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He's like, oh, sorry. So months of inventory is something that it's still under 1 month in Lake Elsinore and Temecula, and I have a slide later I'm going to talk about. So I can still hear you. She doesn't know how to mute her phone. There she is. So it's not just a seller's market, it is a super seller's market, right? It's creating competition. Home equity is definitely spiking up right now. We noticed that there's an average gain in equity of over 26,000, but the current equity in mortgaged homes is over $200,000 right now. And I think that's a fair assessment. Okay, 38% of all homes are owned. And again, equity's been increasing. So good news for most homeowners, unless they're cashing out. Year over year change in home equity, California is seeing an increase of over 55,000. And it's actually the highest one on the chart, I believe. It actually is. It's the highest one on the graph that I see. So 55,000 plus is the year over year change in home equity. And it's going to go even higher, you guys, when you take into consideration the fake equity, as I called it, because of the fact that people are going to be way overbidding on some of these homes. Now, this is just facts. I mean, I'm just telling you exactly what's going on right now. So don't take it as, well, no, that can't be right. I mean, this is what's happening right now. We know people are overbidding crazy amounts, but I still think that in Riverside County, what would you guys say is the average overbid price that we're seeing in our area? I say it's 30 to 40,000. What do you guys think? So
I was going to say 25,000, but
yeah,
Here's what I found.
30 to 40,000 is kind of the average, what you would expect on a normal average sale in our area. San Diego, just FYI, all my realtor friends down there are telling me it's closer to $80,000 to $90,000. $80,000 to $90,000. So that's not for everything. It's not a cookie cutter number, but just to understand, right now in our area, it's about 30 to 40K over. Okay. So sales, let's look at this. So first of all, new homes. Has anybody sold a brand new build recently? Anybody?
Yes, I'm in escrow with one right now.
Andrea, how competitive was it to get into a new home build? Did they have
Very.
any inventory?
This one they did, but I've gone to a ton of other builders that don't. I'm on a waiting list with one that's a year wait.
Yeah, and if it's a year wait, it's probably because they haven't even started the phase and they're pre-selling the phase. But from
They
start
are
to finish,
pre-selling.
they're
Yeah,
pre-selling.
they are. And by that time, by the year's up, the price is going to jump up to who knows what. My buyer might be priced out at that time.
Yeah, so keep in mind, you guys, I mean, a good thing to do is when inventory is low, we used to have to build inventory, and that's why new builders come out of the woodwork. But unfortunately, they are swamped as well. And from start to finish, median months from completion to sold is averaging about 3 months right now nationwide. There is a lot more inventory coming from new builders, but it's not soon enough. Okay, so keep in mind, get familiar with all the builders that are out there. Andrea knows all of them. So go buy her a cup of coffee. She'll share some information with you guys of how she got her offer accepted. Great job, by the way.
Gym pants, Felipe, gym pants.
Oh, buy her gym pants, not coffee. Sorry. So this is important, you guys. So everybody's talking about how they've heard that we're going to get into a foreclosure market. Percentage of distressed property sales, short sales, and REOs is less than 1% in February. Now, you might be saying, well, yeah, but what about the moratorium and the forbearance and the blah, blah, blah? You guys, it's still not going to jump up from 1% to, 80% of our sales. So kudos to those of you that are getting educated and continuing your education and getting designations during COVID and right now during this year. Kudos if you've gotten short sale designations, military relocation specialists. Any designation is going to help your business because you need to understand the lingo and how to help people that are in those situations. But don't put all your eggs into this basket because this is not going to be the next big wave in the next 6 months. People have been talking about forbearance and foreclosures coming back for the last, I want to say 9 months, and we're still under 1%. Okay. Educate yourself, be prepared so that if you run into somebody that needs your assistance, you're prepared to do so. But don't put all your marketing dollars into that. Okay, I wouldn't suggest that. Money wise, so this is cool. So I took some graphs from InfoSparks just yesterday. Let me go back to it. There we go. This is talking about the average sales price, as I mentioned earlier, and I'm sorry it's cut off a little bit, but Temecula is averaging $720,000. Lake Elsinore is over $450,000 as an average price point. This is only single family residences, you guys. I'm not doing condos and stuff. But both of those are in the double digit increase. Okay. We've heard this before, right? Prices are going up, rates are still low, but this actually puts a number behind it. So if you're not familiar with InfoSparks on the MLS, check it out. You can get all of these graphs. And if you want to, you can share them with your clients. And now that we have KV Core, you're going to be able to get this graph and send it out to everybody at one time. Text, email, video, whatever you decide. Okay, so be excited for that. But
I just wanted to jump in real quick.
What was that?
I just wanted to jump in real quick. I don't know if you guys saw, I was running some numbers too. And correct me if I'm wrong, Felipe, but Lake Elsinore has surpassed Menifee for median and average price points for the first time I've seen ever.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah,
that's huge. David, thanks for sharing. So I did not see that. Let me take a quick look. Let's take a quick look at that, and then I can show you how to use InfoSparks. Well, how do I get out of this? Oh, well, I'll continue, and then we could check it out at the end. So that could be, if that's the case, that's impressive. That is super impressive. I'll have to verify that, but every city in this area is in the double-digit increase, and we're talking over 20% and over 30%. And don't be shocked if it keeps increasing for the next 2 months. But I want to say I called it like a few months ago. I said June of this year is when I think that we're going to see a huge influx of inventory because of the fact that the pandemic might be quote unquote over when governor on June 15th says, hey, no more masks, no more nothing. Everybody, code fuchsia or whatever the color code's going to be this year. I think we're on code tier orange right now. So once we go back to that, people are going to definitely want to take advantage and hopefully sell their properties during this time. Okay. So 700 and 450 in Lake Elsinore respectively. Those are huge numbers, you guys. So the housing inventory, this is the big key. Look at all this red, the sea of red. Last 12 months, housing supply year over year. Every single month last year, in the last 12 months, we've seen a decline year over year in inventory. Okay, so what did I tell you our inventory was here? I think it's right here. Temecula, 0.9 months of inventory, less than a month of inventory. And look at that big number, minus 57% year over year. Lake Elsinore, congratulations, you have 1 month of inventory. But this time last year, you had 60% more inventory last year, this time, than you do right now. So 1 month of inventory, for those of you that are new, this just means that if all the houses in our area stopped selling houses today, based on the amount of people that are buying them, how many months of houses would we have left? So we have less than 1 month of houses in the market. And just for fun, when you guys have time, go on the MLS and do a basic search for houses, from whatever the average price. So Lake Elsinore from 400 to 500,000, see how many active homes come up, right? You're going to be shocked. There's nothing out there, you guys. So it's low inventory, buyer demand. Right now in Temecula and Murrieta, actually, what is this? This is the pending sales, okay? So pending sales in Temecula has gone up year over year, and so has Lake Elsinore. So you see this little spike right here, right? So this is, for example, March, February, January. So the thing I want you guys to take note is there are still a lot of people wanting to purchase, and the sales have actually started to increase because even though the inventory is low, we're starting to see more listings come up, okay? We are starting to see more listings come up gradually. So that helps because if we have 100 people waiting outside to buy one house, all of a sudden we have 5 houses, we're gonna have more sales. We're gonna have 5 sales. So just keep in mind that we're gradually seeing inventory come in, even just in our company. I think last week in our sales meeting, we had 6 or 7 new listings coming soon. Some of them are already sold, okay? But that goes to show you guys that the inventory is starting to gradually increase, okay? So here's my tips for this week. Number 1, please be cautious of the temptation to waive all of your buyer's contingencies with your offer. Why do I say that? Because we are getting so frustrated, and I feel you guys, I'm right there with you. I know how frustrating it is when you're showing, making offers, and the offers aren't getting accepted. But the last thing you want to do is put your buyer in a situation where you're putting them at risk, okay? So if your buyer is not an all cash buyer, if your buyer does not have hundreds of thousands of dollars in the bank, please do not put them at jeopardy and remove all their contingencies just to get the offer accepted. Because if we have any issues with appraisal, we have any issues with repairs, they're not going to be able to purchase that home and they're going to be losing out on their earnest money, okay? So keep in mind, be cautious of the temptation. Don't waive all contingencies if your client is not ready to do so. Dare I say the appraisal contingency. I know that that's the big one right now, right? Appraisal contingency, that's the huge one. Everybody's thinking, well, the only thing I can do is remove my appraisal contingency. If you work and represent the buyer, you guys, don't just remove that contingency just to give them a chance to get their offer accepted and hope that there's other ways to back out down the road, okay? If you're going in with that mindset, you're losing. You're definitely doing it the wrong way. If you are removing any contingencies prior to going into escrow, please, please, please get an email from you to your client reiterating that that's what they want you to do. Does that make sense? A simple email goes a long way in protecting us right now, you guys. And I've been saying this almost every day the last couple of weeks because I know it's frustrating. I know it's challenging out there, but don't give up on it, okay? Number 2, comps don't work until the property's sold. So if you're taking a listing and you're only looking at the pending sales, we need to start doing a little bit more homework. And who was it that I was talking to yesterday or the day before? I think you're on the call. I'm not sure who it was. You did a great job and you contacted all the pending sales, and you were actually able to find some of those people actually answered their phone, and they were able to give you straight up the information like, hey, what do you, congratulations. I see that you're under contract or pending. Do you mind me asking, did the buyer come in over or under the list price, and by how much? Because we're getting ready to list a property and trying to do some research. Most agents will be nice enough to help you and tell you, yeah, we came in and the buyer came in 30,000 over, 80,000 over. Oh, they were at list price. Oh, blah, 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 whatever they're going to tell you. Some agents might tell you, well, I'm not going to give you that information. That's fine. But try to do some research, you guys, before taking the listing. Don't just assume that the pending sales are comps, because what can happen is you list today and those two properties that you had as comps fall out of escrow. And now you're getting ready to close your escrow and you don't have comps yet, right? So if you're going way over the average comp, just make sure you do some research before you list. Okay. Now again,
Felipe?
yeah, and I was just going to add to that, of course, that if the buyer comes in and no appraisal and blah blah blah, then this is not for everything. But all I'm asking is do some research. Go ahead, David.
Just some research that I was doing. I know it's challenging speaking to listing properties and looking at comps. And we missed one right here in Spencer's Crossing about back in March, so just last month. The highest comp was 600, had paid solar, model match, but just a better home. And our client wanted to list at 650. So, we ran comps and gave them what we thought, the market was suggesting for their home. And we really thought that ceiling was 600. So I followed that property because they ended up going with another agent. They listed for 639. They sold for VA is what it says on the MLS for 651. So I just want to encourage you as you're talking to your clients. This is something that I picked up on and I'm just using myself. And so I encourage you all to do the same. If our clients are looking to do what seems ridiculous, because that's the only way I can say it, and way overlist that home, for whatever reason, of course, in this crazy market, it's actually happening. So don't miss out on a listing if they want to do something that seems ridiculous, because there's ridiculous buyers out there. And that's just the way I kind of have to call it, I think, at this point. Because I said we missed on that one because we were just trying to be realistic with our buyer or at the seller 2 months ago when we were having that conversation, and the market supported it. Now I don't know if it appraised or not, but it said VA. So just sharing that.
Yeah, no, thanks for sharing too. And again, when you're getting ready to list, guys, do your research, make the calls before you meet with your client, so you have all the ammunition you need. You have all the information that you need to be prepared. And last thing you want to do is show up and not know what's going on in that neighborhood. Okay. Thanks for chiming in, David. I appreciate that feedback. Last but not least, on my notes for today, please read that bottom line there. Never lose your integrity, you guys. We're professionals. You're doing this for life. This is your business. This is your livelihood. I know it's a crazy market. You always practice at the highest level of integrity, you guys. And most importantly, slow down. Slow down. Again, I know that it's enticing. You have a listing, you get 1 million offers, you just want to jump right in and accept the first one. And, we get excited. We're missing the boat. We're not taking, care of our clients and doing our fiduciary duty. To be honest, I mean, we're submitting wrong paperwork. We're not including all the paperwork that we should be including. Slow down. Slow it down. When things get fast, you got to slow it down. Don't lose your integrity. Always, always, always have your client's best interest at heart. Okay. So especially with paperwork, you guys don't get sloppy with it. All right. So those are my notes for today. It's 1:57 right now, so just on time. Now, again,
Can I mention something, Felipe?
Absolutely. And I was just going to end one thing. My prediction well, actually, Paul, go ahead.
One thing I was going to mention too is agents out there are beaten down right now. They're quitting. And what I mean by that is I had a condo. It was on the market for 10 days before I got an offer, because anytime someone wanted to call me and go, hey, my buyer's they're interested, but they don't want to compete against 15 offers that you probably already have. So we're not going to submit. I had 0 offers in 10 days because agents were refusing to submit an offer because they didn't want to get into a bidding war. So just putting that out there, agents out there right now are feeling beaten down and beaten.
Yes.
Don't be afraid to submit an offer because I went 10 days with no offers on this little condo that was perfect, 300,000 or whatever it was. And agents were literally telling me they didn't want to submit an offer because they didn't want to get into a bidding war.
And that's true. And don't, like Paul said, don't let it defeat you. Don't get beat up. I know it's frustrating. That's why I prefaced with that. I know how stressful and frustrating it is, you guys, when you're showing properties. Don't give up, because guess what? All these people that are giving up, as Paul just mentioned, in 2 months from now, 3 months from now, when the market shifts, and it will shift, and there's inventory, guess who's going to be standing with 4, 5, 6 buyers that they've had in their pocket that they've been working with?
I ended up double ending it because I got no offers except for I had a client call me out of the blue and said, "Hey, I want to buy it."
So great job on that too, by the way. So congratulations. But yes, good information to have. Now, speaking of double end, integrity, integrity, integrity. We had an agent just recently. Actually, we've had it a couple times. New rule right now. If you are getting to a position where you're going to double end a deal, you really need to consider referring that one of those sides away. Okay. There's no way you can tell me that you have, that you can potentially not have a conflict of interest by representing both sides. You need to be cautious about it, and you have to over disclose when you're double ending something. Company policy, and I don't know if you're not aware of it, here it is. Company policy: if you are purchasing a home for yourself and representing the seller, you're not going to be representing both sides. You are not going to represent both sides. You cannot buy a house for yourself and represent the seller in the same transaction. I will not allow it to happen. Too many things can go wrong, and they typically do. Okay, so you have to get into a position where you can refer one of those sides away. So please, and David, I know you recently had something like that happen too. You said, "Hey, I'm not going to take on the risk or the liability. I'm going to refer this out." Richard Hainline did the same thing. There's a couple of you that have done the same thing. So just always, always, always think about what your fiduciary duty is and who it's to first. And if you have questions, just come talk to me about it. Okay. So my bold prediction is June. I said it earlier this year. June of this year is when we're going to see a huge spike up in inventory. And speaking of inventory, let's go around the room because it's already 2:00. What do we got for inventory? What's new for this week so we can share any coming soons, so we can promote them on our social media so you guys can get them sold. So who wants to be first? Who's got some new listings coming up? Ellen, everybody's chomping at the bit for yours, by the way. So you got to tell us when it's going to go live. But who's got something new they want to share?
I do.
All right, Mr. Hunter, go for it.
I got a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath bread and butter house in Marietta over there in right off of Hot Springs, $495. It is active now. It is in the MLS. If you want any information, let me know. She's ready for a quick move so people can move in quick.
Thank you, sir. Did you say the price point on that? I'm sorry. Price point?
$495.
$495.
Yeah, $495.
Sorry, mine cut out a little bit. Who else? Somebody has their hand up. I can't see who it is on the screen here. Oh, Ellen.
Ellen Dyer.
Yeah, I've got my seller. I wish I could get this guy moving. It's been 8 months at least since he's been dilly-dallying, trying to get this property sold. He's working on it. In fact, I think he's up here today. He's got the plumber coming in to do some work. Then he's gonna hopefully get the housekeepers in there on Friday to do the general cleanup. The yard's been taken care of. I'm hoping against hope that we can get it listed next week. I wish I could get this guy moving. I keep telling him, I said, "Are you going to wait long enough until the market turns?" Thinking maybe I'll scare him. I don't know. But that's where we are with him.
Okay, well,
I'm hoping
everybody's
by
excited
next
for
week.
it.
What was that?
I said you got a lot of people excited about it and ready to go.
I know, and I wish I could let you know where it was so you could maybe go take a look at it, but I don't want anybody looking at it until I get it listed. And I'm hoping that I've got everything ready to go. I've had the paperwork ready for probably 6 months. I've talked to Dominique. She's ready to go. Everybody's ready to go but my seller.
I just think you're an amazing salesperson, and this is a sales tactic. You're just getting everybody super excited.
I'm
about
getting
the
everybody
property.
all excited so that we
Yeah.
can sell it for twice what we've got it listed for.
That's right. That's right. Great job, Ellen. So anybody else? So we got Patrick, we got Ellen, we got only 2 coming soon this week. Who else?
I have one
What's up, Jennifer? What do you got?
coming soon tomorrow morning in Greer Ranch. 5 bedrooms, 3 baths, big bonus room, pool view, and it'll be listed for $775. It will be active next Wednesday.
Oh, perfect. Okay, next Wednesday, 775. Shelly's writing all these down because she's going to put a little social post for the group, those that weren't able to attend. Any other listings coming soon? Anne-Marie, come on. I thought you had like 10 new ones coming up. What's up? Not yet? Anybody else? Going once, going twice. You guys, let's have an amazing rest of the week. Stay active, stay out there. Don't give up faith. Don't give up hope. Please talk to your clients, and I'll see you guys soon. Okay, take care, everybody.
Point of information, Felipe, in case anyone's interested. I drove through Sun City yesterday and up and down various streets in different parts of town, and there is nothing. There were no signs. I think I saw
Crazy.
two signs in Sun City.
It's crazy. It's, I'm telling you, just for fun, go on the MLS, look up, just active listings at a certain price point. You'd be shocked. There's nothing out there. I mean, and sometimes they go up so fast, they go into escrow so quickly, they're gone before you even get a chance to see that they're new listings. So you just got to stay active at looking for those listings, asking sellers, now's the time. So let's keep at it. And I'm telling you, June, I called it this year. I said June we'll see an increase in listings. We've already been seeing it with us. It's going to happen, you guys. Okay, so have a great rest of the week, you guys. Miss you guys. See you guys soon. Adios.
See you tomorrow.